Yo, what is good with y'all? It's your boy KAG, and today we are finally back on schedule. So what we're gonna talk about today is some upcoming features that we do not actually have verified about the Nintendo Switch. That is more than likely going to be verified sometime in January of next year. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and let's hop into this video. Now, as of right now, the only thing we have verified is the actual form factor, and that is the fact that you can play it as a console on your TV, and you can undock it and then take it on the go with you. We have that pretty much verified right there. We also know that we have a Pro controller and that these controllers detach from the sides. Now, in regards to other information that has not yet been talked about, let's go ahead and talk about that. So first up, we have the fact that we have this big huge screen real estate right here, and I highly doubt it's just gonna be a screen. More than likely it's going to be a capacitive screen of some sort where you can actually use your hand along the screen. But judging by the way that we actually look at the actual design of this device, I didn't see any spot for a stylus of any sorts. So I highly doubt that we'll see the return of the stylus unless it is some type of capacitive stylus. And in that case, it probably won't be as good as last gen's, but you could still use one on it. So yeah, we're at the form factor of where it can actually be used as like a traditional tablet, and that is with your finger without having to really bear down or anything like that. According to what I've heard, it's an IPS display, not an AMOLED. Unfortunately, AMOLED have deeper black and it actually just runs better. But overall, IPS is still a good display for gaming, and it should be running around 720p to 900p. It really depends, but supposedly the screen is 6.2 inches, which is the exact same size as the Wii U gamepad. So if you want to take a look at how big a real estate you'll actually be looking at, you can just look at your actual gamepad and it should tell you how much screen space you have on there. Another feature that has not been talked about is the fact that there is actually an IR blaster on the back of the Pro controller and on the back of the actual, what are they called? Joy-Cons. On the back of the Joy-Cons, there's an IR blaster back there, and there's another IR blaster on the other side. So a lot of people are speculating, well, how can you really use this IR blaster, right, if you have the controller flipped backwards, because the A, B, X, and Y buttons are on the other side. But the way I found around this was the fact that we also have the triggers that are along the side of the device. See, there's actual L and R triggers that are on the inside of the actual Joy-Con that run along the side of it. And if it's just going to be used as a pointing device or anything like that, then you could technically just use that one trigger to do any type of, like, maybe drawing on the screen on the TV from a distance or anything like that, or even get simple games like Wii Sports Bowling or anything like that. They only really need one button, and in some cases they really don't even need that. But yeah, they have the L and R trigger, so you more than likely would just be holding down like the L trigger on it, because if you turn it sideways, you have that button there and you can just do whatever you're gonna do, you know, whether it's rolling a bowling ball or whatever with just that one trigger. Because to be honest with you, majority of the games, they either use just the A button or they use just the Z button at the bottom. So that should solve that issue right there. In regards to it having GPS, still supposedly there is going to be GPS in this device. I do still expect it to be there. And they'll probably talk about it next year in January, like I said. And this is going to be for these new applications that are going to be similar to games like Pokemon Go. So do expect the GPS to still be there. I don't expect it to be going anywhere. I still expect it in this device, and it would just communicate with the GPS signal. And Same way as, you know, you would have a traditional GPS system. It won't have to have like 3G or 4G or anything like that in it, and I highly doubt that this will come with any type of 3G or 4G or anything inside of the device. Outside for that, any type of 3D, we do not know. Supposedly though, this device may actually still be, you know, backward compatible with like 3DS games and possibly Wii U games, but only on the download side of things. So we may still see that, because you could probably still turn this device sideways and use it, you know, sideways to play games or what have you, without it actually being, you know, kind of awkward. So let's say, for example, you take off one of the sides of the trigger and you could turn the thing sideways and you could still technically play with the analog stick at the bottom and the A, B, X, and Y buttons. Granted, it wouldn't be quite as normal, but it would be very similar to like the 2DS, except a slimmer version. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything. As far as it having 3D, we do not know yet. If they do decide to put 3D in there, then it is going to raise the cost a little bit, because they're going to have to do another screen on top of it. But then again, when you think about it, they may have another way of doing it. And the fact that supposedly the actual screen has the IR blasters built into the top of the frame, that means that there's two IR blasters up there at the top that can technically track your eyes, which is the same technology that Samsung uses when they actually read your eyes to unlock like your phone from like the Note 7, which doesn't exist anymore. But you know, that is the same tech, you know, because supposedly PixArt actually put some sensors in this device, and we haven't really heard about those sensors yet. So I'm imagining they may actually be around the whole frame of the device, because if you look at the whole frame of the actual screen, that technically could be IR blasters that go all the way around the frame. So there could be tech there, and it's not just a plain bezel there. So that's also a possibility, because I know a lot of the games, like I was telling y'all, it can sense hand gestures, and if it can sense hand gestures, then that means more than likely there may be some type of infrared reader that actually runs along the sides of this device or around the frame of the actual tablet. But anyways, that's pretty much all I'm going to cover for today. I am going to do another video on tomorrow about some other tech that is more than likely going to be in this device. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, because we talk about all things Nintendo here. And yes, I'm going to start playing games on this channel, thinking, because there hasn't really been any Nintendo games come out, I may have to do some PlayStation games. And if I do, what games do y'all want to see? Please don't pick any old games, because we're going to be doing all new games that are just coming out, just new releases. But anyways, I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.